Right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Now, today I've got something very special for you. As you know, I do a lot of business in e-commerce, so that's an area that's really, really close to my heart. And today I've got a guest who is absolutely crushing it with e-commerce, and he's got a new product that's all to do with this, but a very, very interesting angle. So I'm very, very excited to have him on board today. And so without further ado, good morning, Stephen.
Stefan, good morning.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Stefan, hi. All right, okay. So great to have you on the show. Now, Stefan, we've been doing business for a little while now, and I've been following your products. But for those of my readers who haven't, sort of heard about you and such like, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I got started with marketing actually way back in the end of 2013. And I actually started with a little bit of e-commerce, sort of. I wasn't doing anything glamorous. I was going to garage sales and I was getting stuff for really cheap and then reselling it on eBay. But that was kind of my little introduction to marketing. From there, I kind of got into, email marketing, list building, moved into product creation. And from there, I started getting into, mastering different traffic methods. I started with CPA, and then most recently, I started getting really into e-commerce again. But this time, rather than get stuff at garage sales, I followed the drop shipping method, which is now my favorite method. So that's kind of been my little story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can really, sympathize with that and understand that, because my business is built all around, having huge amounts of stock. And, we've got 12 employees now. We've got warehouses. And, I'm doing a lot of money, but I can really see the attraction in drop shipping and using some of the platforms out there and some of the more sort of clever advertising to drive traffic, to some of the drop shipping methods.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you said it yourself. I mean, it's a difference of having to actually ship it yourself or having someone else do all the work and be able to actually run the business from a computer. And for a lot of people, the ability to even just start without having to store any inventory, I'm sure is a huge, something that they'd be very interested in doing, because, you could just press some buttons and literally, create a profit through arbitrage. So.
Exactly. So Stefan, so you got this new product that's coming out. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Absolutely. So just like what I was saying before, I started really getting into e-commerce with drop shipping. Now, you may have seen that there's been a lot of products lately on Shopify, and Shopify is absolutely great. One thing that people will know about Shopify is that sometimes starting up, especially if you're a newbie, especially if you don't have a lot of money, it can be pretty expensive. There's a $30 a month base fee, and then there's all these recommended add-ons that you get, and sometimes you could be spending upwards of $100, even $200 a month just in fees to get started. So what we've done is, and this is actually what I do with my e-commerce stores, I use something different than Shopify, which actually allows me to skip just about 90 to 95% of all those startup fees. And it's when people need the savings most, is when they're starting up before they have any profits. So we've got something that we call, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Obviously, it's for the people that get the product, but we believe this is something that's going to be a total hit, and people are going to love the fact that they can really minimize upfront business costs. And this actually gives you a lot more freedom than Shopify. So Shopify is it's a good platform. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but it's also limited as far as what you could do. With ours, it's actually, you have a lot more freedom, and it's your site. So you can kind of customize it in a lot more different ways, and you just have total freedom with it. And like I said, you avoid 95% of those business costs. So basically the training takes you through setting up a full e-commerce business without having to store inventory, without having to use Shopify. But guess what? The training also will work for Shopify if you do want to use it. So we did build it in so that it's interchangeable. If your platform is the one we want you to use, or Shopify, you can still go through the rest of the training, and we show you how to get the traffic. We show you how to make an easy profit, and we show you best practices so that your Facebook traffic account, that's the main traffic source, can stay in good standing through the whole thing. So, and you can get started with as little as a $5 traffic budget. So we're very happy about that.
Nice, nice. And what sort of numbers, what sort of income do you think people can have when they, follow the methods which you're going to be teaching in that course?
The sky is the limit as far as it goes. I mean, if we want to be realistic, it is possible to get to hundreds of dollars a day in revenue within just weeks of starting. So if you want to get to $300 a day and you start, and then 2 weeks later, that's your goal, you can very, very easily do that. When I started out, I actually had my first $330 day, and I think that was on day 3. Now, obviously, numbers fluctuate day to day, but if you stick with it and you follow the methods in the course, the sky is the limit. I mean, you can hit $1,000, $2,000 a day if you wanted to.
Nice. And I think you had some numbers that you've taken from your account, didn't you? And you sort of put it on the server for people to have a look at, didn't you?
Yes,
I think
did.
on the sales page. Yeah. Can we just have a look at that just to get a feel for what sort of numbers are possible? Because people really do, when they sort of see something, it really kind of brings it to life, and then they can really kind of take action and purchase the product and such like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hi, I've got some.
Just pause that. Sure. So I mean, if you want me to share my screen here.
Yeah, so what you do is you go on the left-hand side, there's a little green arrow, you just press on that, and then that's going to share the screen.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so here's my screen here. Okay, so I'm just going to ahead and show you guys, I'm going to show you guys the sales page, and I'm just going to show you some of our income screenshots. So just going down here, this is our page, and here's some of our days. Now, you could see here that we have many, many days that are, here's a $300 day. And these are just, we didn't take the best. We took some typical days here, okay? So you could see that with the system we're using, that these numbers are, not only possible, but a lot of these were even earlier on when we weren't as experienced. So, these are very, and this is probably about 60 to 70% return on investment. So these are, very good days. And these are basically a typical day that you can expect within your first month of starting. And you can go much, much higher than this. Now, we also have Shopify numbers here because we do want to stress that the rest of the course is interchangeable with Shopify. So you can either use our special platform, which is going to save you 95% of the business costs, or you could use Shopify if you're more comfortable with it, since that's what a lot of other people are using. So we have Shopify numbers here, and one of my partners is using the same system I'm using, but he's using Shopify and I'm using our system. So you have the ability to still generate great numbers with Shopify. So you really, what's great is you have the choice of, whichever one you want to use. So, if I was a newbie and I saw this, it would seem very attainable to me. It would seem like I could do this, and I could even go beyond this, because once you can get numbers like this, you can get numbers much higher. So
absolutely, it's just about knowing what to do, isn't it? And what about in terms of sort of OTOs or anything like that? Is there going to be any within the course?
Yep. So we like to minimize the amount of pages that people have to go through. So we're gonna make it too tedious for them. We have just 2 that we believe are very highly beneficial and will really, really help people speed up their results. The first one is going to be a done for you pack. This done for you pack is going to include case studies of products that actually were profitable. So if you can't find one, you could just use our case studies as great examples. If you want, you could just copy these campaigns, or you could actually use them as great starting points for your own campaigns, which is going to save people a ton of error and also research, dealing with errors. It also includes, in addition to the 5 case studies, 20 done for you campaigns. So, and that's across a few different niches. So you'll get everything you need to set up your campaigns and actually start getting, go straight to just generating the traffic. And we give you everything you need for the traffic to set up the campaigns, what the audiences are, and all that stuff. There's also a few other goodies we put in the done for you pack. The second OTO is going to be live coaching. So we have a special discount on coaching. You're going to get a full month of coaching through webinars, and you're also going to get the recordings. So you're going to basically get everything you need to crush it with this method. Any questions you have are going to be completely answered, and be no excuse for you not to start getting to $200, $300 a day with this fairly soon.
Nice. That's really interesting, and I'm glad that we had a chance to look at the numbers, because that's really inspiring. And I know that from personal experience that stuff is very, very attainable. So guys, you've seen it, you've seen the numbers. This is very, very achievable. Drop shipping with e-commerce is becoming very, very hot now, and very, very achievable because of all the different technologies that allow you to drive traffic to these offers. And what Stefan is also offering you is a done for you campaign where you can actually see the actual products. And also, in addition to this, if you wanted some more hand holding, you're going to have some coaching and webinars to really take you from A to Z and start earning money. So this is very, very compelling. So thanks very much for that, Stefan. That's been really, really useful. And thanks for coming on the show today.
Of course.
All right, guys. So all that's left for you to do now is click on one of the two links, either above or below the video. I've got some really, really good bonuses for you to make sure that you do make money. And that's it for me. Thanks very much. Have a great weekend. Actually, we're going to be launching on Monday. So, but this is sort of we're sort of recording this on Friday. So that's all for me, guys. Take care. Thanks very much. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.